This week on The Splash, new friends and food trucks, fireworks safety, and celebrating Michigan's high school baseball coach of the year. The Splash is a production of Civic Center TV. We're a news magazine that covers everything from local news to feature stories, all so that we can bring you the latest from the greater West Bloomfield area. And now, let's dive into The Splash.
Hello and welcome to The Splash. I'm Erica Jones. Brooke Allen will return next week. Food always seems to have a way of bringing people together, and food trucks are stopping by neighborhoods all around the state this summer. I checked out this week's food truck meetup in West Bloomfield for a taste of something greater than just a sandwich. Food truck tours are all over the state, and this summer they're coming to a neighborhood near you, right here in West Bloomfield. So come on out for an opportunity to meet people and eat some great food.
We've been having food trucks in our neighborhood every week this year and every other week last year. And we like having it here because it gives us one less night we have to cook for our families and one more opportunity to see our neighbors in the area.
The Well, an inclusive Jewish organization, makes sure people get out and meet their neighbors, and maybe even their best friends. The group organized a meetup at this week's food truck tour stop.
Some of the goals of the Well are to meet young adults where they are and to help introduce them to the 5 best friends they didn't know they ever had and always needed. So this summer, coming out of the pandemic, we wanted to just be in as many possible places as we could throughout the summer to just be a hub for people to come and hang out. That's really how we landed here. We thought to ourselves, let's find some food trucks, say we're going to be there, and have some gatherings.
And what better way to meet up with people than to get outside and try new foods? Even Mikey McCann from Nosh, Detroit, one of this week's food trucks, says it's not the food that makes food truck tours so special, but all the people you get to meet.
You know, you meet people from all the walks of life, from all different areas. The conversations are also fantastic.
And on top of this being a great place to hang out and meet people, the food from these trucks is fantastic. Let's go check it out. This week's food trucks have something for everyone to eat. Nosh Detroit is completely vegan, and Divine Cookies has both gluten and dairy-free items for dessert.
Yeah, I love Nosh Pit. So one, they're one of the first vegan food trucks in Metro Detroit. Sometimes when we have barbecue trucks or maybe something a little more specialty, people who don't eat those foods want to feel more included. So today with Nosh Pit and Divine Cookie Dough, which is something a little bit for everybody.
And even if you are a hardcore meat eater, you might be surprised with the flavor of some of these meatless sandwiches. Look what they've got on the menu.
Not everyone's vegan, so when you get a meat eater come through, they're like, what do you have that's close but not quite what I'm looking for? And probably the Larry Reuben. Everyone thinks Reuben, oh cool, corned beef. Well, we used pickled beets instead.
As someone who loves hardcore meats, I never thought I'd like vegan food, but I really like those sandwiches. Their vegan cheese actually is good.
And now that you've eaten your veggies, you've earned yourself a treat. On top of fresh baked cookies, Divine Cookies has edible cookie dough and brownie batter. You can't miss out on dessert today.
Support your local food trucks. Everyone's struggling these days, and it's great to see the food truck culture that's coming to Metro Detroit. We're getting more and more trucks every day, and we're excited to have them here.
Well, being out here has sure made me hungry. Time for me to go get in line. Reporting for The Splash, I'm Erica Jones.
You can find more information at our website at civiccentertv.com/foodtrucktoursdetroit. It is not summer without fireworks lighting up the sky, and with all the local lakes around us, you cannot resist stopping by a show. Reporter Lawrence Nyland brings us tips for safe and beautiful fireworks shows all summer long.
It's that time of year again. Fireworks season is upon us. And as West Bloomfield Fire Marshal Byron Turnquist recently told us, the safest way to enjoy fireworks is to leave them in the hands of the professionals.
We just want people to enjoy the holiday, enjoy all of the festivities, and be as safe as possible. The fire department, we want to always recommend, and we always encourage everybody to go attend one of the professional shows, one of the professional fireworks displays, and really go enjoy it. You don't have to worry about setting the fireworks up and keeping people away. Those measures are already in place, and you can just go enjoy the show.
But those loud booms in almost every neighborhood tell you that a lot of local residents decide to light off their own fireworks. And there are some firework safety tips that every person should adhere to. One
of the recommendations I've got a whole list of recommendations if you're going to use fireworks. But while you're lighting them, you never want to lean over the firework itself. You want to keep a distance away as possible. Stay away, reach in, light it. You don't want to lean over it in case that firework deploys sooner than you expect. And then you don't want to handle fireworks. You see a lot of kids that'll light firecrackers in their hands and throw them, and that leads to a lot of injuries as well.
An often overlooked safety measure is something that's very easy for every amateur firework user to come prepared with.
Always have a bucket of water, and the water is there for two things. One, if a fire were to start, you've got water readily accessible. A fire extinguisher is always a good thing to have on hand. But we always recommend to, when you're done, before you put the fireworks in the garbage for the evening, soak them in a pail of water or a garbage can full of water, and wait till the next day after they've soaked, just to make sure they're definitely extinguished. We've had a few fires over the years where people have cleaned up after the evening of celebrating, put all the fireworks in the garbage can in the garage with other combustibles, and then an hour or so later, we're on scene, battling a house fire.
And remember, the laws are very specific about when and where you can light off your own fireworks this 4th of July holiday.
Right now, you can start using fireworks on June 29th through July 4th, and you have to end each evening by 11:45. And that's in an effort to be respectful to your neighbors. If you're going to shoot fireworks at home, remember that under the new Michigan law, you have to shoot them on your property. What does this mean? This means that they have to shoot and land on your own private property. But it's not legal to shoot them from the roadway or from a public parking lot or a school parking lot or anything like that. You have to be on your property in order to enjoy the consumer fireworks.
Reporting for The Splash, this is Lawrence Nyland.
To know more, you can visit civiccentertv.com/fireworksafety. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, put your baseball cap on because it is time to celebrate Michigan's High School Baseball Coach of the Year.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
I'll be seeing you in all of our favorite places with laughter and warm embraces all day through. The park where we play, the stoop across the way, that favorite cookie smell and Big Bird's tree we love so well. I'll be seeing you. I'll be seeing you.
I love you too.
With free COVID-19 vaccines, sunnier days are ahead. Visit getvaccineanswers.org.
I'll be seeing you.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm Erica Jones. St. Mary's High School has one of the best baseball teams in the state this year, but we can't talk about a baseball team without recognizing the coach. Head coach Matt Petrie continues to lead his team to the highest accomplishments. Reporter Daniel Zivian brings us a story on Matt Petrie, Michigan's High School Baseball Coach of the Year.
Nestled between Orchard, Cass, and Pine Lakes, the historic St. Mary's Prep is now home to high school baseball's Coach of the Year in the form of Matt Petrie, the son of former Detroit Tiger and namesake for St. Mary's home field, Dan Petrie. On June 19th, the Eaglets completed their second consecutive championship season with a 9-0 win over Stevensville Lakeshore. With a 43-1 record this year and several players moving on to Division I colleges, it is no wonder their head coach would be awarded such an honor by the National High School Coaches Association. In fact, the newspaper Collegiate Baseball ranks St. Mary's as their top high school squad, meaning the Eaglets are not only the #1 baseball team in the state, but the nation as well. A towering achievement happening right here in West Bloomfield. For The Splash, I'm Daniel Zivian.
For more, you can visit civiccentertv.com/Coach Petrie. It's now time for our weekly segment, Testing the Waters. Every week, I go out into the community and talk to people about hot topics. Let's check in with some West Bloomfield residents to see where they're headed this summer. There's nothing like summer in Michigan, and we have tons of beautiful destinations for 90-degree days like today. What's your favorite Michigan summer tourist destination?
I think my favorite Michigan summer travel destination would be Traverse City.
St. Joseph, Michigan, out on the Lake Michigan.
Lake Superior.
I love anywhere up north. Every summer, my family and I go to South Haven, just a little taste of Lake Michigan.
Mackinac Island, because I love wine, and it's like our own little mini wine country here in Michigan.
And we walk and we hike and we go swimming in the lake.
I like to swim. It's cold, but it's really beautiful.
We're going to Crystal Mountain this summer. Dip our toes in the sand and get some sunshine, walk around town.
It's really fun to ride your bikes and to enjoy the weather and to get ice cream and just hang out there.
Looks like I have a lot of places to visit this summer. Reporting for The Splash, I'm Erica Jones. For more episodes of Testing the Waters, visit civiccentertv.com/testingthewaters. We're going to take a short break, but when we return, I'll sit down with Celia Block from Hand Painted Rooms.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
One of the things you can look for in your friends is a change in behavior.
These can be big changes, they can be small changes in mood, physical appearance.
They may be sleeping less or sleeping more, drinking more, or their eating patterns may be different.
One big change that can be pretty obvious is change in motivation. Do they no longer want to play basketball? Do they no longer want to play video games?
Now that we're spending more time online and in virtual settings, it's really important to pay attention to the language that your friend is using and the words they're using to communicate.
So when we text our friends, are they taking longer amounts of time to respond? Are they not responding at all? You don't have to be an expert to try to recognize these signs. The second that you feel it in your gut and that you're concerned, that's the second to have the conversation and open the door to what might be going on.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm Erica Jones. This week, I'm joined by Celia Block. And if you're looking for someone to make your home look brand new, Celia's got you covered. She helps keep walls and furniture in our houses up to date through her talent with a paintbrush. So hi, Celia. How are you today? Thank you so much for being with us.
Well, thank you, Erica, and I'm really glad to be invited.
Yeah, so we know you love art, but tell us about that passion and how you turned it into a career.
Well, I've always been into art ever since I was a child, and I just started fooling around with different art forms, and all of a sudden I started watching HGTV and saw these cool things you could do on walls. So I said, this is what I'm gonna be when I grow up. So that's what I did. And I took classes and started doing people's, interiors, homes, businesses, and doing artistic walls.
And on top of just walls, what are some of the other things you paint? I know you love painting furniture. That's something you're super into, but tell us some of the other creative things that you've done.
Well, I do also paint a lot of furniture, and I've done lots of things. I paint like home decorative accessories, like Lazy Susans and trays, things that accessorize your home.
Yeah. So I can't help but noticing this beautiful wall behind you, and we're lucky enough to have you joining us from work right now. So tell us a little bit about where you are and what you're working on right now.
Okay, well, I'm in a client's home, obviously, and the wall behind me is a metallic black that's textured to look kind of like raw silk. And then the light color pieces, I don't know if they show on video, but they're actually silver leaf, which was embedded into the design, and then red metallic paint to accent the wall.
And what kind of room is this in the house?
It's an accent wall in a very pretty bathroom.
Wow. So where did the inspiration for this design come from? Or how does it normally work with clients? Do they tell you exactly what they want you to paint, or do they tell you they have an idea and then you take it from there? How does your process work?
More often than not, I meet with the client and I have a portfolio of finishes. And we go through all of my designs, and I have many of them, so it takes about 2 hours. And we go through all the designs, and they pick a number of things that appeal to them. And we take them into the room where we're going to do them and hold them up to see if, what they like. And obviously I change the color based on the client's color palette. And that's generally how it is. Once in a while, someone actually does have their own idea, or they show me a wallpaper and they want it replicated because they'd rather do paint than wallpaper.
Yeah. So
then you never have to remove it.
Now, tell me a little bit about some of your specialties. What are some things that you take pride in and you provide that not every artist could come into someone's home and do?
Well, being an artist, I think that the finishes that I do are maybe a little bit more creative because I don't just take classes and learn how to do something and just do that. I'm able to take all of the things that from my life experience in art and put them together with, the different materials that I use. And I'm very good with color. So often, the clients will rely on me to help them select the colors that they need for their home.
And with the pandemic, because the service you provide is going into people's homes, that was definitely very challenging for you because there was a long period of time where I'm sure you weren't able to do that. But now that we're seeing light at the end of the tunnel and we're coming out of that, how have things changed for you, or is it completely back to normal the way it used to be when you walk into someone's house?
Well, I wouldn't say it's back to normal. I actually didn't have any jobs for about 8 months because no one wanted me in their house and I didn't want to be there either. So now people are actually calling and, getting ready to be more open to having someone in their home. And I just actually, the last 3 or 4 months, I've started getting busy.
Yeah. So is there anything else that you want people to know about your business or what you do that we haven't touched on?
Well, if someone is interested in what I do, I do a no charge consultation, and I'll come and visit the home, show them all of my portfolio, and we discuss what their needs are. And then if they, give them a quote, if they choose to hire me, great. And if not, then we can still be friends.
Well, that's fantastic. And where can we find you? Do you have a phone number you want to share with us or social media handles where people can see a little bit of your work?
Yes, my business name is Hand Painted Rooms. My phone number is 248-417-1139. I'm on Facebook under Hand Painted Rooms and also on Instagram as Hand Painted Rooms.
All right, Celia. Well, thank you so much for talking with us and showing us some of your work. It's been great to chat with you, and I hope you have a great day finishing off this beautiful work behind you.
Well, thank you. It was wonderful to meet with you.
Once again, we've been joined by Celia Black from Hand Painted Rooms. We're going to take one final break, and when we return, we're going to spotlight someone who's been a leading voice in our community for years and continues to serve and entertain every day.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
I'll be seeing you in all of our favorite places with laughter and warm embraces all day through. The park where we play, the stoop across the way, that favorite cookie smell, and Big Bird's tree we love so well. I'll be seeing you. I'll be seeing you.
I love you too.
With free COVID-19 vaccines, sunnier days are ahead. Visit getvaccineanswers.org.
I'll be seeing you.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm Erica Jones. Now it's time for our final segment of the week, Person of the Week, where we highlight special people in our community who are inspiring and providing towards others. This week's recipient is Mike Stone, longtime Detroit sports radio host. You may know Mike Stone as Stoney from the morning show on 97.1 The Ticket. He's influenced and inspired so many people throughout his radio career and continues to do so every day. He is the former host of Stoney and Wojo on WDFN, and he's been with 97.1 The Ticket since 2009. You can also find Stoney announcing West Bloomfield High School football and basketball games. But on top of providing our community with sports news on your way to work, Stoney's a leader in volunteer service and strives to make our community a better place. He was inducted into the Jewish Sports Hall of Fame in 2016 and has served on the board ever since. He works every day to increase public awareness of colon cancer since longtime co-host Jamie Samuelson passed away from the devastating illness. Stoney is also the father of 2 recent West Bloomfield High School graduates, Jessica and Marissa, and husband to Cindy Stone. Stoney's dedication to making a positive impact on our community and continued entertainment service is what makes him our Person of the Week. If you know someone who's making a positive difference, let us know and message us on social media with any and all suggestions because we want to congratulate and acknowledge those making a difference in our community. And that's it for this week's show. You can watch new episodes anytime online in HD at civiccentertv.com. Tuesdays at 5:30 p.m. on Civic Center TV on Comcast 15 and AT&T Channel 99. Follow us on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Facebook at Civic Center TV. For all our friends in Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, Kego Harbor, and of course West Bloomfield, I'm Erica Jones. Thanks for watching The Splash.